And volunteers and organizers also placed wreaths on veterans' graves at Rosehill Memorial Cemetery in Minot. Officials say they sold roughly 1,360 wreaths. 1,000 of those came to Minot, and they donated the remaining wreaths to Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia. A young member of the Civil Air Patrol shared with us the importance of keeping this annual tradition alive despite the elements.
Even if it's cold and even if it's, blizzarding, our veterans' memory should still be intact, and our younger generations should learn about it as well.
Organizers say they are hoping to bring an even bigger event next year.